What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be doing another tier list in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So this is going to be a tier list of the best small forwards in the game. So if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We upload, not even going to say we upload more MyTEAM content than anyone else because it's very tight between me and one other person. I think in overall videos in 2K21 he's beat me by like 3 or 4, but don't worry. We're going to make the comeback. We are going to make the comeback. Either way, though, if you like MyTEAM content, want to find out about the best players, subscribe. So anyway, now we are going to get on to the players. So, the small forward position is a strong position. I'm going to say that right now. There's a lot of guys that are very good that will be in like A and B tier. Honestly, because even though I like the point guard position, the 2 guard position in general is kind of weak because I think I had like Clay. Like I had Clay in S tier. Did I have Cooper in S tier as well? Can't even remember, but man, I'm telling you, a small forward position is a lot better. So we're going to start off with Baylor. Elgin's good. He's super fast. Elgin is super fast. And while he's not someone that suits my game, he can still run to the basket with the best of them. The thing with Elgin Baylor, though, is... Actually, I just want to check one thing. They don't have Tyreek Evans on this list. Because I went on 2KMT Central to get this list of players. By the looks of things, they don't have Tyreek Evans yet. But I'm telling you, Tyreek Evans is a beast as well. But Elgin Baylor, good enough defender. Super fast, good dunker. Moderately good shooter. Like, I hate his release. I don't know what it is. I hate Brook Lopez base. The same as Kristaps. Like, give me a Tyreek Evans release over a Elgin Baylor. For me, give me Tyreek Evans over Baylor, but for 90% of people, Baylor over Tyreek. So, A tier. And we got Rolando. I mean, Rolando's fine. He doesn't really shoot well. I don't think he can shoot in the corners. But his stats are okay. He's moderately fast. Can't really play much defense. He's fine. Kelly. I might have to move. I might move both of these up. I'm going to keep these together because I think they are the same tier. But I'm putting both of these guys down here in D tier. I might end up moving them up to C. The reason is that I'm looking down the list and I'm like, when we get to say, like when we go far down, you can see a lot of guys that are just better cards than these. But Kelly's a sniper. If you want to put him in C tier, I will not complain. I will not complain at all if you guys think that I am rating these too low. I might end up moving them all up. And if Kelly's D tier, then we are also putting Sean Elliott in D tier. They're the same tier. Whatever tier they end up being in, they're in the same tier. Mark Aguirre. I'm sorry. For 99.9% of people, he's worthless. I'm telling you this right now. There are a couple of people that will be successful with this card. He's got absolutely elite post game. But he's 6'6", and who uses post game this year? It's not like he can post hook cheese this year, and it's a weird one. Doesn't really play defense, doesn't really shoot, isn't that fast. He's not a player I like. He's a player that I really despise. I think he's absolutely terrible. If you are someone who's really good in the post and you like using him, be my guest. Basically, anyone who will be good with Mark Aguirre already uses Mark Aguirre. There are so few people in the world that will be successful with this card that I'm convinced that everyone who will be successful with this card already has this card. So, I'm going to put him worthless. If you're thinking, oh, I'm going to try Mark Aguirre, very unlikely you'll like him. Purvis. Why am I going on worthless? I mean, Purvis is alright. He's a decent shooter. He catches boards. He dunks. So he catches lobs. He dunks well. Like, he's fine. He's just... Oh, I just don't like him. I don't like any of these diamond token rewards. And man, I'm half considering it. Bernard King is so bad. Like, if I come up against Bernard King, I know I have to win. He's kind of fast. But, like, doesn't shoot, doesn't go to the basket that well. He's just... Oh, I don't know. I'm going to put him in worthless, but man, if you want to put him up one tier, I'm not going to complain. Then we have Scotty. I mean, Scotty can lock people down. Scotty can't hit a shot. Scotty's awful, but he can play defense. Because he can play defense, we have got Scotty in D tier. Then we got Dr. J. Get into S tier. No question about it, Dr. J is S tier. When you have him badged up, he's a beast. He's a lockdown defender, one of the best dunkers in the game. Really, really good jumper. I think it's the exact same jumper as Steven Jackson. He's got unbelievable stats. He's just absolutely fantastic. Dr. J is S tier. We got Larry. This all depends on your playstyle, because I really like Larry Bird. I really like him. A lot of people hate him because of his speed. I don't play defense though. So the way I play the game, I can only make this list based on my own opinion. Like, there are certain cards where I'm like, you know what, they're objectively good even though I don't like them. For example, an Elgin Baylor. If this is my personal list, I've used Baylor's Opal a few times. I haven't liked him. I put him in B. But at the same time, I will admit that he's better for most people. So I'm going to put him in A. But for me, Larry is one of the best catch and shoot release, if not the best in the game. Or, well, he's one of the best catch and shoot players in the game. He barely misses when he's open. He hits from deep. The thing with Larry, again, though, he's very, very slow. So you got to know how to use him. I'm going B tier for Richard Jefferson. I don't mind Jefferson's release. I much preferred his release back in the stick shooting days. He's got a catapult release, but it's not the worst release in the world. The thing with Richard Jefferson is his defense feels like it's next level. He only comes with silver clamps. You can upgrade to gold. He still to this day feels like a very good defender. He's another one that might get moved down a tier. But for now, B. I might end up having to move him down a tier though. He's probably going to be on the lower end of B. We've got Sean Marion. Marion's so bad. He's got no defensive badges. He's like a defender who can't defend, and he's a shooter who can't shoot. Weirdest thing ever. He's terrible. He's terrible. Lamar Odom getting to C tier. I don't mind Aldridge Base. I don't like Aldridge Base. Don't mind it. His release is fine. It's not good, not bad. It is just fine. But the thing is with Lamar Odom is he's not the fastest player in the world. His defense is non-existent. Yeah, he's okay at the power forward position. But he's a guy that I've had him in my squad. Like, I bought him. I bought Lamar Odom the day he came out. Like, he was a lock-in for Robin. And I stupidly locked in for the Robin. I've had him since the day he came out. And man, I just don't like this card. I'm going to say this right now. I just don't like him. For me, you see. Let me have PG. I mean, PG is that tier with Elgin Baylor. He's definitely not top tier, but he's not that far off. There are definitely cards that are better than Paul George, but he's really nice. I like his release more than most people do, but he's super quick. Got a really nice behind the back. He can dunk on a lot of people. He's got great length at 6'8". He's good. Kevin Durant, one tier lower in B tier. The straight arm king. It's not as bad. I don't think his release is as bad for straight arms this year as it was last year, but it's still not great. Doesn't have the best handle in the world. Yeah, he's got Pro 2, but like Pro 2 doesn't really mean much this year. He's got terrible behind the back, and yeah, his KD's not good. Then we got Latrell. I mean, fully badged up Latrell's S tier. I'm sorry, he is. Fully badged up, he costs a lot to badge up. Like, he costs a lot. Not only does he cost a lot to lock in, he costs a ton to badge up. He is the lock-in award for the Kyrie Irving and Dikembe Mutombo. What's it? It's Kyrie, Dikembe, Steven Jackson, Jamal Mashburn, and I don't remember who the last player is. But he's the lock-in for that reward, for that set. And he can do everything. Base 4, which is a really, really nice release. His ball handling is pretty decent. He dunks. He's like a slightly downgraded Dr. J. When I mean slightly, I mean slightly. Like, Dr. J is better, but he's not enough better that I think it's even he's worth getting. Like, if you were to lock in any of these sets, Draymond and Latrell Sprewell, if you didn't lock in the others, they're not worth it locking in. Because, like, Latrell Sprewell is like 80% of Dr. J. And we got Steven Jackson. I mean, badged up Steven Jackson's A tier. He can get basically every single badge. You can only add 3 to him, which is a bit of a problem. But if you add clamps, quick first step, and range extender to him, he's a demon. He's got the Curry slide, which is a really, really effective move. He's also, obviously can get range. He's got the same release, I think, as Dr. J, which is really, really nice. It's Rudy base, Rudy upper. And just overall, again, another card that I'm a big, big fan of. I use him in my squad. He's a great, great card. Jamal Mashburn. I mean, some people swear by Jamal Mashburn. Some people swear by Jamal Mashburn. I don't like him. I'm sorry, I don't like him. I'm putting him in D. If you want to put him in C, I'm not going to argue. But like, there are genuinely people that swear by this card, and it's just not for me, I guess. Then we got Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is S tier, and I don't use Giannis, and I will never use Giannis. But Giannis is the best defender in the game, and also, if you play meter off, Giannis was cash from the corners. Giannis, if you, like, there are certain players like Tyreke Evans. If you play meter on, Tyreke Evans is fine. Like, set shot 4 for me is perfectly fine with meter on. Like, I was playing on stream with him. I managed to get him onto my main account. Video coming later about that. I managed to get Tyreke Evans on my main account. But the thing is that when I was on stream, people were telling me a set shot 4 was unusable, and I was agreeing with it because I actually like set shot 4. If you don't use the meter because of how just awkward that one is, it's unusable. But then Giannis is the opposite. Giannis, if you use the meter, Giannis is like very difficult to, but you don't use the meter, he hits so much. And it's just a weird one, but man, Giannis, with his defense, the fact that certain people can't shoot with him, I can't not put him in S tier. Dominique getting to S tier. Dominique is one of the best small forwards in this game, no question about it. He can get every single badge. He is super fast, dunks on everybody. He is like very... These three cards here, Dr. J, Latrell, and Dominique, are very similar players. I think Dr. J is out in his own at number 1. You can argue who's better, Latrell or Dominique, but I think it's quite close. They're very, very similar players. Then we got LeBron James Diamond A. He's fast. He's really fast. But he's not a player that really suits me. His SIGs aren't the best. His jumper is not great. He can't shoot from the corners. If you are somebody that plays lanes on defense, LeBron is up there with Giannis. Like, the two of those guys together, you will play lanes better than anyone else. If you are someone like myself whose strategy is I don't care how much I concede, I will outscore my opponent, he's not going to be ideal. Again, assuming that the vast majority of people that are watching this are not going to be taking their team out into a competitive setting and are just going to be playing in unlimited, I think there are definitely more effective players to use in an unlimited setting, but in like a competitive setting, LeBron James is up there at the best of them, so I gotta keep putting him in A tier. Then we got Bruce Bowen. Bruce Bowen's going B. I would be 50-50 on putting Bruce Bowen into A tier. Bruce Bowen is so good. He's got a decent release base 40. He's also a lockdown defensive player, 96 perimeter defense, 96 lateral quickness. He's 6'7" and can play the 2, and he's got 4 hot zones outside the 3. The guy doesn't miss it unless he's from Limitless. Bruce Bowen. He's the best player right now in B tier, and it's not like Bruce Bowen's better than Kevin Durant. He is better than Kevin Durant. Straight up, he's better than Kevin Durant. Bruce Bowen is the best value card in my team right now. He is the, without question, the best value. Off rip, he's good. Because he's 2K, and the 2K you spend on Bruce Bowen, you will be able to use this card till... In Unlimited, you'll be able to use this card till at least Christmas. He is one of the few cheap cards in this game that I'm saying are without doubt worth using in Unlimited. Like, he doesn't really have a weakness, except for the fact can't create his own shot, which, yeah. Only 5 players do that anyway. We got Pierce. Pierce is A tier. Pierce has a lot of good things and a lot of bad things. There's days where Pierce doesn't miss and he's my best player. There's days I hate him. Like, I use Steven Jackson. I've started using Steven Jackson over Pierce on my TTO squad. And funnily enough, Pierce might actually be replaced in my main squad with Tyreke Evans, depending on what way I play. I'm not entirely sure which of Paul Pierce or Michael Cooper I want to get rid of, because my Michael Cooper has got Hall of Fame quick first step, and he's without question Steven Jackson over Paul Pierce. So I might end up getting rid of Paul Pierce for Tyreke Evans just to try him out, because I do really like Tyreke Evans. But Paul Pierce, A tier. Jason Tatum, and Tatum's going C. I like Tatum this year. I have never used this Ruby Tatum, but I like Sapphire Tatum, and this Ruby Tatum is just better Sapphire Tatum. So I'm going to put him C tier. I'd probably put Sapphire Tatum at like a low D tier. Maybe not. I've put Rolando Blackman here. I think Rolando Blackman up the C tier. We got Chuck Person. A lot of people swear by Chuck Person. I don't like him. I've used him fully badged up, and I do not like him. He's got Scotty release, which I don't like at all. He's got everything though. Like, he's big. He's got a big player build. He can play at small forward, power forward. He can get every single badge in the game as far as I'm aware. He has a lot of things he does really well, but in my opinion, he's just okay. He's just okay. He's the best player in this tier. And you could definitely argue him fully badged up being up a tier, but I'm going to put him in B for now. I'm not the biggest fan of him. Lou Hudson. I mean, Lou Hudson's alright. Especially with clamps on him. He's alright. He's got no range, but overall a pretty good jumper. He goes to the basket alright. He's basically Quentin Butler with better defense. Then we got Brent Barry. Brent Barry's going to D tier. Brent Barry, I mean, he's not the worst player in the world. His release is fantastic, but again, he's got the same thing as like a Kelly Tripucka, Sean Elliott, where like he's not really going to play much defense. He's going to just hit wide open shots, and none of them have range extender, so like none of them shoot that much better than Bruce Bowen, and Bruce Bowen plays defense, so there's just no point using any of these cards. And then we got Danny Granger. I mean, Danny Granger is like AK-47 without the defense. He's alright. He's okay. I mean, he's got good length, but I don't like him. I don't really like him at all. And we got James Worthy. I hate his release. I'm saying this right now. I hate James Worthy's release. It's the only reason he's not in S tier. Again, another card that I thought that should have been spectacular. He can get every badge in the game. His release is just weird this year. I just couldn't do anything with him. I could not do anything with him anytime I've used him. He's kind of there. Yes, if you badge him up, he can be a really good like power stretch four. He's really, really good. But he's not quite S tier. Like, you gotta be a almost perfect card or a Giannis to be S tier, and he's not quite that. Then we got Darius Miles. I mean, see? The funny thing is, Darius Miles is significantly worse than Emerald Darius Miles from 2K17. And I'm not even joking. Emerald Darius Miles came out like week 3 of 2K17. And I'm telling you, Emerald Darius Miles is better than this Darius Miles here. The Ruby Darius Miles from 2K19 that we got in October is better than this Darius Miles. This Darius Miles is weak. But is he better than Lamar? Debatable. And we got badged up Beasley. So not Beasley, Dunleavy. Badged up Dunleavy's A tier. He's nice. He's got one of the best releases in the game. He's got not great dribble sigs, but a really high 3-point rating. Again, if you badge him up, he can play great defense. He's also a 6'9" 2 guard, which again is one of very underrated things because of his length. Length isn't as important this year as it was last year yet, because it's not as easy to play lanes. Last year, length made so much of a difference because you could just spam square and get in lanes. This year, sometimes you fall out of bounds if you try playing lanes. And funnily enough, for those people that are actually good at defense, this year, it's not that it makes it easier for them, but it shows the difference between good and bad players this year. Because, for example, if you guys are watching the competitive players play, their rotations are elite. Whereas if you watch me try to make rotations, like last year, I just got bailed by the game, and I just knew I knew how to kind of bait a bit, and I just spam square, which doesn't work this year. So, yeah, not quite as good. But Dunleavy is a really good card. Base 4, one of the best releases in the game. He's quality. And we got Larry. I mean, Larry's like budget Giannis. I'm not going to put him A tier, but he's a similar player to Giannis. He's an elite defensive player. He dunks on everyone. Can't really shoot too well, but he's okay. He's fine. And we got Peja. Peja getting to C tier. Most people would have Peja in D tier. I like set shot 4, so I'm putting Peja into C tier. That's the only reason. I might be the only person in the world that likes set shot 4. I liked it on Rashard Lewis. I like it on Peja. I like it on Tyreek Evans. I might be the only person in the world that likes that release, but I do. So he's going C tier for me. And he's got 6 half shooting badges, so yeah, he can play defense, but there is maybe, I don't know, he is the most confident I would be shooting a corner 3 with any player in this game, not named Steph Curry. And we got Wiggins. I mean, the more I use wings, the more I don't like him. I'm gonna say this right now. I don't like him. Yes, he does certain things really well. He plays lanes really well. He doesn't shoot the ball as well as I'd like. He doesn't quite defend as well as I'd like. Again, he's fine. He's good. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's not worth the price he goes for. And he is just one of those players that I kind of, not that he's bad for his price, because he isn't. He's that, like, he's way better than non-badge of Steven Jackson. The only player that's cheaper than him on this list that's ahead of him is Bowen. But I think he's significantly worse than Bowen. Then we have got Detlef Schrempf. So Detlef Schrempf is going into, I mean, he's going A. You could definitely argue him higher. He's going A tier. He's a card that I really like. He's like better Boris Dio without the Pro 3. Release is good. Jumper is good. Can get every badge. Good enough defender when badged up. Yeah, he's A. And we had Joe Ingles. I mean, I'd be very tempted to put him B, but he's C. He's like worse Bruce Bowen. That's what I'd say about Joe Ingles. Joe Ingles is like worse Bruce Bowen in 2K21. Like, he's fine. He does a job. He's not the worst card in the world. But yeah, he's C. He's no better than Wiggins. We got Mike Miller, and this might be a controversial one. I'm putting Mike Miller in A tier. He'd be on the lower end of A tier. I just love base 4. Like, he's 6'8", can play at the 2. He's not significantly downgrade. He's not a significant downgrade. I know he doesn't play defense like Clay, but I don't, like, Clay's a way better defender. I can't guard anyone with anybody, so I don't really notice that. And pretty sure he's got silver clamp, silver range, great catch and shoot, great release. He's class. I unfortunately couldn't get him in ball drops, but he's quality. And we got some good cards. But first of all, we're going to put Quentin Butler in D tier. Quentin Butler's fine. Trust me, Quentin Butler's fine offensively. He plays some of the worst defense I've ever seen. He's got the Pro 3 behind the back. He's got a decent release. He's got hot zones everywhere. He's got great shooting badges. Quentin Butler has maybe got the worst defensive player, or he's maybe the worst defensive wing. That's an amethyst. No, he's 73 lateral quickness. I get it, you can put clamps on him, but man, clamps is not going to help you guard any guards with 73 lateral quickness. That it is absolutely ridiculous how bad that stat is. It is absolutely shocking. Then now we're on to our last tier. Our last tier are really, really good. So I'm going to start off the controversial one and put Jimmy Butler in S tier. Badged up Jimmy Butler for me he's next level. Again, base 22, which is arguably my favorite release in the game. Wiggins has that release, which it's okay. The only problem with Jimmy is he doesn't get catch and shoot. Like, Wiggins shoots okay, but it doesn't shoot as much well as I would have liked with it. But base 22 is like Darren Williams' release. It is I don't know who else has it. Rick Smits has base 22. Byron Scott is base 22. It's just a release that I really like. And also Jimmy Butler's got Curry slide and really good defense. So you want to move Jimmy down to A? No, I would have no problem with that. But for the way I play, Jimmy's S. Then we got Vince, and like, as much as I want to put Vince lower because he's one of the worst value cards in the history of my team, 1 million MT, he's not terrible. He's actually got one of the easiest releases to green in the game. It's not the fastest release. It is one of the easiest to green I have ever used. Like, I think I greened like 5 shots in a row with him. His overall speed is great. He dunks on everybody. So Vince, a Hall of Fame catch and shoot as well. Vince going S. And LeBron. I mean, I still don't think LeBron's as good as Dr. J. I still have LeBron probably as my number 4 small forward in the game. I don't like this LeBron. I mean, it's not that I don't like this LeBron James. He does not suit my playstyle. He is without doubt S tier. He is one of the fastest players in the game. He blows by everybody. He dunks on everyone. Still can't make a layup though. He's got a terrible jumper in my opinion. I can't shoot with LeBron. He can't shoot from the corners anyway because he steps in. But at the end of the day, if he gets a few nice animations next gen with the way his stats are, we could be looking at a different animal in 5 days time. Like, it's 5 days till new consoles coming out. We could be looking at a different animal when they do. So LeBron James, one of the best cards in the game. Doesn't suit my playstyle, without question, one of the best. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. These are my rankings of the best small forwards in the game. I'm kind of happy with where these guys are. Kind of some of the day one guys, they were good for their time. I don't think they're quite good enough now. So yeah, this is pretty much it for my ranking. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.